Hello students. Hello students. So today's topic, what we are going to see is regarding the product release and the release management, which is covering part of Unit 5. So these are the topics which we will be discussing in this unit. Product release, release planning, product release management, product implementation, release management cycle, and user training. So we'll see each of this topic one after the other. The very first topic we are going to see is about the product release. So what is a product release? In general, see the software product, which we have been building for so long, it's now complete. So what we have to do once a product we are building is complete, we have to take it to the customer's site and get it implemented by the end users so that they can start using it. So we have to see in this that all the tasks are completed. And a release generally constitutes of a complete functional version of the software. Releases also are referred as launches or increments. The product release is a process of launching a new product or a feature set into the market. Generally, releases happen frequently or occasionally. Frequently is like daily releases or weekly. Occasionally means quarterly or annually. Reasons why we are releasing a product. There are a few reasons why we are actually releasing a particular product. See, we want the people to know that we have a new idea and we want to share it with the people in the market. We are introducing new features to the current customers. We can introduce new features to different customer segments. It can be new customers or already existing customers. We can re-release our current product using different technologies. Normally, this is called as a re-platform. So this is all about a product release. When you want to launch a particular product, it is called a product release. The next one we are going to see is the release planning. See, when we have planned to, when we want to release a product, we have to actually plan about it, how to release, what are necessary things to be released. So necessary steps to be taken for release. So it is a plan to increment our product. It is a purpose. Its purpose is to generally create a plan to deliver an increment to the product. See, we can see in the diagram, we have set of functionalities or features in the product backlog. So this product backlog is basically features which have to be added to the product. So we are going to put features that we want to implement during the release plan. So that will be put in the release backlog. So for example, if I'm having 7 features in my product backlog, probably I'll be taking some 4 of them, which is necessary for me, and that will be put in the release backlog. This is going to be the very first step of the release plan. Now, these are certain steps we need to follow when we are planning a particular release. First thing is, who are all involved in the release planning? First person involved is Scrum Master. The Scrum Master is nothing but his function is to facilitate the release plan. He ensures everybody gives their input and also knows what expected output will be. Second person is Product Owner. He acts as a client. He represents the general view of the product backlog. And the Agile team. Agile team consists of developers, testers, team lead. Team to provide insights of a particular feature on technical feasibilities or any dependencies will be taken care by the Agile team. And then the stakeholders. Stakeholders are acting as advisors so that decisions are made around the release plan. So these are the people who are actually involved in the release planning. Next is the prerequisites of the planning. So what are the prerequisites? Product backlog should be ranked properly. That is, which is the high priority feature, which is a low priority, which is a medium priority feature. All this has to be completely managed by the product owner. Generally, 5 to 10 features are taken for which the product owner feels that it has to be included in the release. How much effort they have to be put at this time frame so that a particular feature or user story can be developed will be decided in the prerequisites of the planning. Also, there will be a check whether market and business objectives are met or not. And acknowledgement has to be given whether new product backlog items are needed or not. So all these things are constituted in the prerequisites of planning. Materials required. Materials required, like we have posted agendas which have a clear purpose. We should have flip charts, whiteboards, markers. We need to have projector to share information. We have shared computers with data, tools required in the planning meeting. All these things are the materials, comes under the materials required. Next is the planning date. See, we have to establish the planning date 2 months before itself. Previous iterations or release planning results should be stored to see what has to be done and what has not to be done. Feedback from stakeholders are to be taken. See, stakeholders can be like product owners or clients or such people. And what type of feedback? We'll be taking feedback on product, the market condition, on deadlines. The feedbacks will be taken. Then action plans on previous releases or iterations have to be prepared. See, what is an action plan? It is basically states that the problems we faced during previous releases, and we should make sure that we don't have to face them any further. So these are nothing but the action plans. Inputs from other teams and subject matter experts to manage any dependencies will be taken care in the planning date. This is required basically to identify if there is any risks before time itself. And the last step is the final outcome, or we can say output. A release plan with a set of commitment, with set of issues, concerns, dependencies, and assumptions which are to be monitored properly during their release plan. Any suggestions to improve future release planning, which acts as an action item here. So these are all covered in the release planning. And this is nothing but the product release management. Now, product release management is like there are basically 5 stages in this. All the stages involved in software release, from development and testing to deployment, will be here. Release management is required when a new product or even changes needed to an existing product are requested. Okay, so there are 5 steps as we can see here. 5 primary steps, they say. First one is the plan release. See, the plan release is nothing but it's a sturdy or a robust release plan which will help your team stay on track. It ensures the standards and requirements are properly met. There are many ways for release plan. One of the most popular release management method is software development lifecycle, as shown in the diagram. The release plan actually includes the timeliness, delivery dates, requirements, overall scope of the project. Once the plan is sketched out, all the relevant stakeholders, that is team or product manager, high-level head leaders, all of them will be reviewing the product. When the plan is approved and finalized, then it is put into action. So these all will be coming under the plan release. Next step is the build release. See, with the release plan finalized, we can start designing and building the product for release. The actual development of the product is done here. Once all the issues are addressed, it is subjected to real-world scenario for testing. Then the workflow, it is taking several iterations. Team builds the product, sends it to testing environment automatically for user acceptance. If there are any issues or bugs found out, the build will be sent back to development at stage 2 itself. The work may flow from stage 2 to stage 3 and back again until release is approved. So as you can see in this diagram, normally it will be from stage 2 to stage 3 we have to go when this all will be approved in the second step. But if it is having any bugs or issues, then it will be going back to stage 2 again. The third one is user acceptance testing. We call it as UAT also. End user actually gets to use the product and gives the feedback. It's a very crucial step. It is a part of an iterative process. As bugs are identified, the team fixes the issues and redesigns the build for greater integrity. The product or the build must pass UAT stage to be considered for the final release and implementation. This is the fourth one, prepare release. This stage puts the finishing touches on the product, which was learnt in the UAT stage. Review will be conducted by the quality assurance team where the standards and business requirements are met as per the release plan. Once review completed, the team will be finalizing the release for deployment. Before deployment, it must be approved by the product owner again. The last step will be the deploy release. Time to release a product in a live production environment. In deployment stage, development team should meet to assess the release performance and how the deployment went. If further issues are found, it should be identified and documented for the next iteration. So these are all followed in the product release management cycle. Here, product implementation, that is the next topic actually. See, once the product which we have developed and thoroughly tested has to be implemented at the customer site. So we have to prepare all the test data, input data for testing the implemented product. Also, the hardware, software, which are all needed for installing our software product are also necessary. We have to make sure that we are developing and testing all the hardware and software interfaces for integrating our product. Make sure that our product runs very smoothly on the customer premises without any interference. During implementation, there can be problems like due to unforeseen circumstances or negligence. The reason can be from the part of the production team, or it can be even from the customer's team. So we have to list our own requirements and we have to prepare it, hand it over to the customer support team so that they are very much prepared when you arrive for the implementation. The product implementation is the most important part, and it is a blueprint of a specific software product. Generally, it is stated that implementation of a product consumes up 1/3 of the budget of software purchase. The next topic is about the release management cycle. So there are 8 steps which are cyclically shown here. So I'll just brief you what are happening in this release management cycle. See, it basically follows a defined path. Begins with stage 1 of the development cycle, when the release manager receives requests for changes or new features. On approval of the request, team designs the new release and planning begins. Then the developer builds the new software. Then post-development, release enters the testing phase. The team may be making modifications before release is accepted. After that, release moves into deployment stage where it is fully available for use. Next is post-deployment stage is a support in which bugs or user stories that the team documents here may be fed back into the development team as a material for the new release. So this is what is a complete release management cycle, what happens in the release management cycle. And this is a template given for release management. If you go through itself, you will be understanding what are required here. Next, the last topic for today is the user training. Now we have to make sure whoever uses our product understands how to use it. So for that purpose, we need to make user manuals to be prepared by the team. It has to be up to date with the latest version of the software product that will be implemented at the customer site. It is not possible to provide the training to all users, so we have to prepare a list of roles needed to operate the product. Along with the user manual, we have to prepare a tutorial to include probable scenarios that can arise during operation of the product. The tutorial provides step-by-step guide for using the product under those scenarios. This is very important step in training, because if the users do not learn it during the training phase, they will be contacting us or the company after the implementation and ask the information how to use it. This is going to be a waste of time and very inconvenient for the team also to reply every now and then. So it's very much better to train the users while the training phase itself rather than facing user requests later. So that is what the reasons for software maintenance and other stuff is given here. Thank you, students. Hope this session was useful for you. Thank you very much.